So hi again. In this video we are going to discuss the problem F of today's contest, which is forever winter. The question states that we are given a root of a particular graph, and on that central vertex root there are x number of vertices which are attached to that center vertex, and to each of the vertices to which the center vertices is joined, y number of total nodes are joined to that particular neighbors of the center vertex. That is, in other words, we are given a center vertex. Each vertex, for each the center vertex there are x number of neighbors, and for each neighbor there are y number of neighbors if we exclude the center vertex. So we have given the particular graph. Now we have to find how what is the value of x and y. So moving on to the solution, if we have the center vertex at this point and we have x number of neighbors to it, to the center vertex, 1 2 3 4 5, and for each neighbor there are y number of neighbors excluding the center vertex. So the approach can be, we can choose any leaf node which is having only one neighbor, so we will trace to the its neighbor. Now when we will go to its neighbor, now this particular root will have, suppose x number of, suppose y number of neighbors. So we can see here the value of y should is equal to 3, and this neighbor has 4 number of neighbors, so value of y will be size of these neighbors. Suppose this root is indicated by v, so value of y will be number of neighbors, that is size of v, number of neighbors of v minus 1. Right, we can get the value of y from this particular number of neighbors to this node, and for getting the value of x we have to find the total number of neighbors to the central node. So for that we can, what we can do, we will find all the neighbors of it. So number of neighbors here are 4, and these are the neighbors, but only the central vertex, which is the neighbor of vertex v, is not a leaf node. Otherwise all of the neighbors of this vertex v are leaf node. So we can get the value of the central vertex by this particular condition, that it will not have any, it will not be a leaf node. After we will go to the leaf node, let suppose we mark it as u, so we have to just find the number of vertices which are neighbors to that u. So x will be size of that particular center vertex. So we can just print x and y. So this was the solution and the concept behind the problem. I will show you the code. I have taken graph as input, and I have find the first leaf node. I have marked it as u, and I have go to the, suppose this vertex is u, and then it is having only one neighbor, so I am going to this, so it will be v. Now y will be graph of size of v minus 1, and I am finding the center. So for finding the center I am just finding all the neighbors which is not a leaf node. So if the size of the neighbor is not equal to 1, so our center will be that particular neighbor, and we will print x and y.